Hello and welcome to the Merle and Locke podcast. I'm Merle.
And I'm Cinderella, a.k.a. Locke. Right, it was Cinderella that had like birds and stuff that she sang to.
Wait, was it Cinderella? No, it wasn't Cinderella. That was Snow White.
Well, Snow White did too, but I thought Cinderella did.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Well,
anyway.
Time to go on a Disney binge.
How does the intro go again? I've lost track of thought. Set sail and low expectations for everything nerd. Accompanied by a healthy, albeit shameful, helping to pointless banter, like focus on course required knowledge.
And God more.
And more.
Yeah.
Jeez. We got there. All right. We're going to talk about this game that we just started playing. It's been out for a little bit. You okay there?
Yeah, I just got attacked by my mic.
Oh, God. This recording goes so far. Golly. All right. Absolute mess. All right. So this game has been out since December of 2024. It's a game called ZORT. It's developed and published by Launder Software. As the description states, it's an action, adventure, and horror game that can be played with up to 4 people, explore maps with your friends, and have fun while escaping from various creatures. Experience a realistic horror experience with in-game voice chat and with your friends. So we checked out this game. We didn't know too much about it necessarily.
It's gonna be terrible. I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get my mic back up to where it was. Ow.
We picked up this game just the other day, and it was only like $4 on Steam.
Yeah, little cheap thing.
Yeah. It's a cheap game. But it's a lot of fun where you go in. We, of course, use a mod that allows us to have more than 4 people from the Thunderstore or Overwolf.
The Thunderstore, which is from Overwolf. We do it because we don't like restrictions.
We don't like player caps at 4 because we always have an odd number of people. So we got a mod, and so all 5 of us could jump in together and play this game. So what it is, you look like these creepy looking people with these big helmets on. I think they look like the Deku people from Legend of Zelda.
But we think, by we, I mean the majority of everybody else thinks, that they look like the little girl creature off of Super Mario or whatever.
The pink Yoshi looking guy.
I don't want to compare him to Yoshi.
Yoshi-esque? Wait, let's look it up. If I put in pink Yoshi and it pops up, then that was a good descriptor. Nope. An actual pink Yoshi pops up.
It was terrible. Yeah.
Dang it. Birdo.
Yeah, Birdo. I don't know why I was saying Beepo, because
Beepo.
You know, it's Beepo.
Yeah, okay, so it looks like Birdo. You have that long snoot type thing. It's on Steam. It's a cheap game. It's a good romp. There's only a few levels at this point. I think they might be done with it. I don't know if there's been any updates as of late, but I think there's 4 levels total in which you can do where you're dropped off in different locations and you have to follow a storyline. And all the while, you're trying to solve all these puzzles, and there's monsters that are released into the level that you have to avoid, and you find clues as to how to combat the monsters or deter them from taking you out. When we first jumped into it and we didn't know what to expect, it was pretty hilarious what we had run into. If you don't like spoilers, then maybe dodge this, because we're going to be telling personal stories about our experiences. But just know that it is good fun. It's a horror game. You know, it's kind of freaky here and there, but it's not anything terrible.
It keeps you on your toes. There's a little bit of suspense. There's not really any jump scares because you get like an audio cue most of the time, letting you know that something's about to happen.
It's mostly like the fear of the unknown, because you don't know what's going to happen, what this monster is capable of, what the monsters are, and you just run into them, and it freaks you out a little bit.
The other thing that trips me out is as you start to lose your sanity, because there's a sanity aspect to the game, as you lose your sanity, you see more characters than what are initially in the game. So there's 4 or 5 of us running around, and then next thing as your sanity drops, you start seeing more people appear.
When we were playing and we started seeing doppelgangers, I guess they could be called
Skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers. There you go. They don't talk, but they move around like us. They're just hopping about and nodding up and down and following you. We would often mistake these these skinwalkers to be our friends. But since we were using in-game chat, we couldn't communicate with everyone all at once, especially if we were all split up, and the skinwalker would come hanging out with you, and you just think it was one of the other friends hanging out with you and trying to solve these puzzles. It was very disorienting at first because when we started out, we started running into things that would take us out. Early on, we lost 2 people almost right away. One fell into this giant pit.
That was me. I did that. First thing, too, I went, what is this? And go, right down into the hole.
And another friend got hit by a monster and then sent in this back rooms type thing that she had to try to escape, and which she wasn't successful. And then the other 3 of us, we were just putzing around, trying to figure out what to do in the level. And then these doppelgangers started showing up, and we just thought it was the other players. And they weren't saying anything, and they were running around, and we're like, well, what are you doing? Why aren't you replying to me?
Show me your card. Show me your employee badge.
We thought they were just messing with us. And yeah, when you get into these levels, you have this little ID badge in your inventory, which you can hold out, and it shows your gamer tag, gamer picture. It allows you to like prove that it's you. And we started figuring that out, and we started doing that back and forth to one another. Show us your card, show us your ID. Even though most of us like to mess with one another, and so we would refuse to do so and just act like a doppelganger later on.
I would grab whoever died, and I'd grab their ID badge and pretend to be that person.
So yeah, we're fairly well a detriment to one another's success.
We're not helping each other whatsoever.
No, it was, we got carried away pretty quickly, but it was good fun to do so. We got to a point, I remember, where we came across this one creature that kept creeping around and following us and leaps at you to try and take you out.
The bunny rabbit man.
Yeah. We found out by finding a piece of paper that described how to handle it, that it didn't like loud noises. So we would run around, and we found like these air horns that we could use, and we can kind of just start blowing the air horns to scare it away. It comes back later, of course, but you can deter it temporarily. Another monster that we came across, as soon as the lights went out, there's a period in which you progress so far, then the lights go out, and you have to figure out how to get the lights back on. And so we're running around. Some of us didn't pick up flashlights, so it's completely pitch black, and we're just looking for like little tiny lights to run to. This other monster comes out that slams you to the ground and then grabs you and tries to drag you away to kill you somewhere else in the level. We found out by finding another piece of paper that the only way you can take it out is by throwing bowling balls at it or something.
Yeah, you gotta like bowl it because he's a big guy and he just trips over his feet. I believe his name is either ZORT or something like that, or Zordo.
Man, that guy's terrifying because you can't outrun him because he's super fast and you only have so much stamina to run with. Every now and again, you can kind of cheese it. I know a couple of times we've hid behind something or little corner in which he couldn't reach you. And so he would just stand there menacingly as we screamed for help, you know?
I remember my first encounter with him. I hid on top of a bar. It was almost like he got progressively faster. He just kept walking back and forth on both sides of the bar because every time he got close, I'd move closer to the front of the bar, so then he'd start running to the front. And he just kept that going until he got so frustrated, he lifts his arms up, slams it down, which pulls you toward him. I didn't realize that was a thing, so when he pulled me toward, I was freaking out. I'm like, help! And nobody could help because they were all dead, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, you could find these little dolls. It's an interactable item. You can pop it and you can res a friend, but you don't want to pop it when you don't have a friend that's dead because that's just a waste.
It's a waste, and
sometimes sometimes when you pop it, it doesn't actually res your friend. It just creates another skinwalker.
How exciting.
You don't know, especially with us trolling one another constantly. You'll probably never know because we just act like we are skinwalkers.
We'll just start bobbing our heads up and down.
Oh, man, we made that game way harder than it probably is normally.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that game was pretty easy. Once you got the mechanics and understood how each enemy worked, then the game was just a breeze.
But initially figuring out everything, we were just spinning our wheels the entire time trying to figure out what we were supposed to do because there's little to no guidance. There's clues here and there and some context clues, sure, but you're just dropped in and it says, find a way out. And it's like, okay, how do I do that? And then they start throwing monsters at you. And then you're like worrying about the monsters. And then your friends start getting taken out. You're like, how do I get my friends back? And it's all just panic all the time, especially in that first level. That first level is pretty crazy.
The second one was easy in comparison.
Yeah. We won't go into the second level, though, because we'll let viewers that are curious go figure that out on their own. But the first level, it is rather extensive, like as far as the amount of time it takes to get out. It's not a quick thing that you can run through. It takes some time to get through it, which I really appreciate. What do you think? Maybe 30-ish minutes or so to try and complete the first level?
I mean, as long as everybody's cooperating and not just goofing off and being trolls, yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay. Or it could be upwards of like an hour with you trolling one another. But
an hour of fun time, that's what matters.
That's true. It is great fun. I mean, just giving you the opportunity, really. I mean, it's not like we troll each other or think to troll each other just from the get-go.
Well, some of us.
I guess that's true. It presents so many opportunities to do so. So it's hard to pass it up, really. I remember when some of us would get taken out, when you're on like the spectator screen, you can talk to the other people that have gotten taken out. We're all just talking crap the entire time or saying what we're going to do when we get rezzed and how we're going to mess with this person that's still alive. It's pretty funny. It's a hilarious game. I highly recommend. I don't remember playing anything else by this developer, but they did amazing. They put out a very cheap game, especially considering that it's only been out not even a year yet, and they're already brought the price down to $4. I don't know what it was initially, but they made it really cheap, and it's a very good romp. Get a lot of time out of it. And I'm going to be suggesting this time and again in the coming weekends, playing more of this game because we haven't even completed all the levels ourselves.
I see that they did make a post about episode 3 that was about 2 months ago. They had said that they were hoping to release it sooner, but some things happen and they just want to make sure it's fully flushed out before they enable and give you only a half-finished product, so...
Well, good on them. I really appreciate the work that they're doing and how cheap they have the game at. It's a great, fun game, a lot of cool mechanics. Best of luck to them.
Yeah.
If you enjoy the Merle and Locke podcast, please consider becoming a patron by going to patreon.com/merleandlocke or simply follow the link in the description. Thank you.